Today marks day 16 in the double homicide trial of Alex Murdaugh.
Yeah, the disbarred attorney is facing murder charges for the 2021 deaths of his wife and son. And it's a case that has led to Murdaugh facing 100 criminal charges for a whole range of alleged financial and legal offenses, among them computer crimes and money laundering. More than 250 people could serve as potential witnesses in this trial. It's a big one.
Let's bring in Jessica Levinson now. She's a CBS News legal contributor and professor at Loyola Law School. Jessica, welcome. As we enter this new week, what can we expect to hear that we haven't been alarmed by so far?
I don't know that we won't be alarmed by anything else. Today was a fascinating day in court where two of the jurors and I believe two of the court staff actually tested positive for COVID. And there was a lengthy discussion about whether or not there should be a delay in the trial. Today, there was also another surprise where the prosecution said, we were just contacted by Alex Murdaugh's car company, basically by, I believe it was GMC. And they said, we now have OnStar, meaning GPS information that we haven't had in the years leading up to this trial. And we'd like to talk about that now, Your Honor. The defense has said, we think that GPS information will actually help us. So another day of surprises following last week where there was bombshell testimony from the Murdaugh's housekeeper, who really, I think, was very harmful to the defense here, saying that Alex Murdaugh had basically tried to sync up his alibi with her, saying, you saw me wear these specific clothes. And she also testified to the fact that she saw things were cleaned up in a way that they typically weren't. Other testimony from another caretaker, from Alex Murdaugh's mother's caretaker, who said something very similar happened, where he visited her later and said, and that night I visited, I was there for about 40 minutes, where in reality, she said he was just there for 20 minutes. So to answer your question, I think we're going to see more of the prosecution placing Alex Murdaugh at the scene of the crime, at the murders, more on motivation, more about those financial crimes, and potentially more on this GPS information.
And do you have a sense of how much more work the prosecution has to do in terms of days to go before it rests its case, in that famous phrase?
Well, very famous phrase. They think they're almost done. And the reporting last week is that they thought they would wrap up very quickly. Then there was, because the saga just won't stop, there was a bomb threat last week in the trial court, and they actually had to evacuate, and it obviously delayed everything. The prosecution at this point, I think, believes that they will rest within a few days. Then it's up to the defense to try and cut apart all of the pieces of the story that the prosecution is focused on. And we talked about, for instance, the issue of the financial crimes leading to motivation. The defense is going to try and blow a hole in that. The defense is going to try and really challenge all the witnesses who said, we hear Alex Murdaugh's voice on a video that places him at the scene of the crime, and really question the witness's recollection. So it should not be that much longer, probably another week, and then it goes to the jury.
So much ground to cover in this case.
Jessica Levinson, thank you very much.
Thank you.